Hello everyone, welcome to Equal To, and this is the 8th episode of Number Systems playlist. If you haven't watched the previous 7 videos yet, please go and watch them. And this is exercise 1.3 of this chapter. Okay, now we are going to solve a few questions. Actually, I might solve actually one question in this video because the first question has a lot of subdivisions in it. Okay, so the first question of exercise 1.3. So let me just read the question first. Write the following in decimal form and say what kind of decimal expansion each has. Okay, now we have already seen how to express rational numbers in decimal form, right? We are just going to divide it and mention it. Now, there are two cases. We have seen this already. These are not things that are new to you. We have already seen this. I am just brushing things up. Okay, now there are basically two cases. One is terminating and the other one is non-terminating but repeating. Okay, these are the two cases. Now we have been given 6 subdivisions and we are supposed to find are these expansions they are terminating or non-terminating but repeating. Okay, we are just going to find that out for these 6 rational numbers. Okay, that is what we are going to do. Now we are starting with the first number, which is 36 divided by 100. It's one of the simplest things that could one ask, because 36 divided by 100 is very simple. You could straight away say it is 0.36. There is no need for you to do any calculations. There is no thinking required. It's very simple. It's what? 0.36. Okay, as simple as that. And since it has only 2 digits and there are no more digits, right? It has only 2 digits and there are no more digits. It is terminating. Okay, now the first example is very simple, 36 by 100, and that is 0.36, which is a terminating decimal expansion, right? That is it. Now we are moving to the second subdivision, which is 1 divided by 11. Now this is a slight complication when compared to the previous question, because the first question was an obvious one. Now here you have to do the division, in fact, to find the quotient. Okay, so 1 divided by 11. Okay, so what would you do? 0 point, and that would give you 1 0 here. 10 is still lower than 11, right? 10 is still lesser than 11. Now we are going to add another 0, that would give you another 0 here, that gives you 100. So 11 times 9 gives you 99, and that's the maximum that can go in 100. So that gives you a remainder of 1 again. Now by default you can have another 0, but that still is not enough because 10 is still lesser than 11. So you need another 0. So you add a 0 to the quotient, that gives you 100. And again 11 times 9 is 99, and you get a remainder 1, and this keeps on repeating, right? It goes on forever. So it is 0.090909, and it goes on forever. So how can you express this? 0.09 bar. Okay, now this is a representation that we have already seen. We know how to do this. This is not something new. You have seen this already in these previous videos. Whatever the part that is repeating, you place it under a bar, or you place a line above it. Okay. Now these are the first two questions, and this one comes under case 2. Right. Let me just write this in a different color. Non-terminating, because this goes on forever. 090909, it goes on forever. So it is non-terminating, but it is in fact repeating, because only 0 and 9 are the ones that are coming, right? It is repeating, but it is non-terminating. Okay, now we are moving to the third subdivision here, and this might look quite different. This third subdivision is a mixed fraction. Okay, what we have seen so far are just straight away simple fractions. This one is a mixed fraction. Okay, now we have to convert this mixed fraction into a simple fraction for us to perform this division. So how do we do that? That is very simple. If you don't know this, just observe it carefully. you are going to take this denominator and you are going to multiply it with the whole number part. Okay, so basically in a mixed fraction you have two things, the whole number part and the fractional part, right? So 4 is the whole number part and 1 by 8 is the fractional part, right? Now to convert this, you are going to take this denominator and are going to multiply that with the whole number part and you are going to add 1 with it, which is the numerator with it. Okay, and the denominator of this would also be 8. The denominator remains the same, but just you are going to multiply the denominator with the whole number part and you are going to add the numerator. Okay, 8 into 4 plus 1. Let me just rewrite this. It's not 4 into 8, it's 8 into 4. I'll write it again. 8 into 4 plus 1 divided by 8. That is 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 1 gives you 33 divided by 8. Okay, that is the number. Now we are going to perform the division. 33 divided by 8. So 8 times 4 gives you 32. Right, that gives you a remainder 1. So 4 point, you get a 0 here. 8 times 2 is 16, that wouldn't work. 8 times 1 is 8 and that gives you a remainder 2. You can get a 0. 8 times 2 is 16. You can get a remainder 4. You get a 0. 8 times 5 gives you 40 and that will get you a remainder of 0. Now what is the value of 33 divided by 8? It is 4.125. This is the decimal expansion. Now this obviously, as you can see, is terminating. Right, there are only 3 decimal points and it has ended. Okay, so it's a terminating decimal expansion. We have solved the first 3 subdivisions. Now we are moving on to the fourth one. Okay, now there is nothing to think a lot here. You are just going to express these fractions in decimal expansion and you are going to classify it as the 2 cases, terminating or non-terminating but repeating. Okay, 3 divided by 13. You are going to perform the division. 3 and 13. So 3 obviously doesn't go on 13. So 3 is actually less than 13. So what you're going to do is that you're going to place a 0 at the quotient and a dot, and that would make this as 30. You get a 0 here. Okay, so 13 times 2 is 26. That gives you a remainder 4. You get a 0. 13 times 3 is 39. That gives you a remainder 1. You get a 0. But 10 is not less than 13. So you add a 0 at the quotient and that gives you 100. So 13 times 5 is what? 65, I guess. That wouldn't work. 13 times 6 is 60 plus 18, 78. That wouldn't work. 13 plus 7, what is 13 plus 7? 1 remaining 2, 7, 9, 91. Yeah, this would work. So 13 times 7 gives you 91 and that gives you a remainder 9. You get a 0. 91 wouldn't work, so 13 times 6, which is 18, 1, 78, right? 13 times 6 is 6 times 3 is 18, 78. Yeah, 78, and that gives you a remainder of what? 12. Okay, so you get a 0 again, and 13 times 9, I think it would work because 13 times 10 is 130, right? So 13 times 9 gives you, and times 3 is 27, remaining 2. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 is 11, 117, and that gives you a remainder 3. Again, it starts right where it left. Okay, so 30, in the sense you would write 2 here, which would give you 26 here, and it goes on. Again you get a remainder 4. So this entire block, it gets keep on repeating. So what is this block? Let me just write it here. 0.23076, and it again starts with 23076. It goes on. So this entire block is repeating. So it's case 2. Let me just write case 2 here. I don't have enough space for you to write everything. Okay, so what is case 2? It's non-terminating but repeating. Okay, this entire block 23076, it keeps on repeating. Okay, now we are moving to the next question, which is 2 divided by 11. Again, you are going to perform the division. Right, we have 2 here, we have 11 here. Obviously 2 is smaller than 11, so 0 dot, you get 20, 20, 11 times 1 is 11, so you get a remainder 9, you get a 0, 11 times 8 is 88, and that gives you a remainder 2, you get a 0, and again it keeps on repeating. So it's 11, 9, you get a 0, 8, 88, you get a remainder 2, so this keeps on repeating. So the value would be 0.18 bar. Okay, this 1 and 8, they keep on repeating. So again, it's case 2, meaning non-terminating. I'm just writing it in short, non-terminating but repeating. Okay, that is this fifth subdivision. Now we are moving to the last subdivision of this question, which is 329 divided by 400. It's quite a big number, but let me tell you a trick. Okay, let me tell you one thing that you can use to do this easily. Now let us split this first. Okay, we have 329 in the numerator, let that be fine, but the denominator is 400, right? 400 is basically 4 into 100. Now what you can do is, you can express this as 329 divided by 4 into 1 by 100, right? I hope this is very simple and easily understandable. We are not doing something that is completely strange here. We have just split the denominator into 4 and 100 and we have separated it and written. Now what we can do is that we can find the value of 329 divided by 4 first. Okay, we can do that first and we can divide that with 100 again. Okay, now if I haven't understood this completely yet, please bear with me, you will do so. Now first what you are going to do is that you are going to find the value of this portion, the portion I am highlighting now. Okay, now we are going to find the value of this one first. Okay, after that we will evaluate the entire thing. Now first we will do this 300 and let me just use the blue color here, right, 329 divided by 4. Okay, let us take the first 2 digits, that would give you what, 4 times 8 is 32, right? 4 times 8 is 32, that gives you a remainder 0 and you can bring down the 9 here. 4 times 2 is 8, that gives you a remainder 1, and 1 is less than 4, so you get a dot and 0. 4 times 2 is 8, you get 2 again, 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, and that gives you a remainder of 0. Done. So this is the value, which is 82.25. Okay, now this is the value of this number right here. Which one? The value of 329 divided by 4 is 82.25. Now this had to be divided by 100 again. So basically we have found the value of this. Now, but we have to actually find which one? Into 1 by 100. That is what we have to find, right? Because we have just found the value of this. We still have to do this to this number to get the actual thing, which is 329 by 400, right? We have found the value of 329 by 4. Now we have to multiply it by 1 by 100. We know that basically dividing by 100 is same as multiplying by its reciprocal. So these are things that we have already discussed in this chapter. I hope you remember that. Okay, now basically dividing by 100 is just moving your decimal point to the left 2 times, right? So that would give you 0.8225, right? And it is a terminating one. So it is basically case 1. Okay, so it's terminating and non-repeating. Okay, so these are the 6 subdivisions from this question. I hope you understood these. These are not super difficult. These are very easy questions. You just have to find the decimal expansion and you can classify it straight away. Now the last thing, I remember this trick. You can, it's not even a trick, it's quite obvious thing. There is nothing innovative here, but it might help if you don't know this already. So you can split it as 4 and 100. You can divide it by 4 easily because that is something is smaller and it's quite easy for you to do so. And you can just again divide it by 100 again. Okay. So fine. I hope you understood this. And this is the first question of exercise 1.3. And the next question we'll be seeing in the next video. If you have any doubts in this video, please put them in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Bye for now.